What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Lavolti Stocks back with another Tesla update video. We've got a ton of news on Tesla, ranging from Cathie Woods and what she said about Tesla and why they're buying more Tesla. We've got the Gigafactory potentially happening in India and everything surrounding that. And then we've also got the fact that Tesla is expected to make $1 billion in profits from their Bitcoin investment just last month, which is more money than they've made in all of 2020. So great round of news. We'll dig right into that. And then at the end, we'll talk about the stock and where it sits, future support and resistance levels, and what those could mean for the stock moving forward. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Tesla are. And I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me hit record and we will get right into it. Now let's cover the news first, and then we'll take a look at how the stock's been doing, how the stock's been reacting, and all that good stuff. So let me hit this right here. And so what happened last week, if we take a look at the chart, as we'll do later, is there was a little bit of a dip in Tesla as well as Palantir on the lockup, but I'll make a different video on Palantir. And they're talking about, in an interview with CNBC, ARK Invest's Cathie Wood, which for those of you guys that know Cathie, she's had the ARK funds, which had phenomenal returns in 2020 and are continuing to deliver really high growth for their investors. So it's really, interesting to always see her perspective, because her perspective on Tesla, when she was talking about it 2 years ago, right? Everyone was hating on it, and that's when they were talking about Tesla potentially not even being able to make it. And then you see it, 10xing in 2020. So she was right about that. So it's, really interesting to see what her thoughts on, Tesla and Palantir are. But what she's talking about here with Tesla is the fact that she still believes in it. She added Tesla to her portfolio, as we'll see, and they're talking about the autonomous taxi world, right? And that is the reason why she added a little bit to the Tesla, which, by the way, is already the highest percentage within the largest position within her portfolio, right? A lot of this article talks about Palantir and the growth they expect with that, but she's really counting on the autonomous taxi, which is something that a lot of companies have really been working towards and thinking about. And she thinks that if Tesla is able to unlock that potential, it could really take Tesla to the next level, which is why she bought in. This other article talks a little bit more in detail about what exactly they added. So they're talking, they added 90,000 shares of Tesla late Wednesday, which is the top holding in that ETF. And they're talking about the ARK-Q and ARK-W ETFs, which are the autonomous technology and robotics, and the next generation internet ETFs, also increasing their Tesla positions this past week. So first and foremost, this is already their largest position across the portfolio, and they're adding to it, which kind of shows you the level of confidence that they have in Tesla's ability to continue growing, in the near future. I don't necessarily know if Tesla can 10x again, right? Because the valuation right now is pretty high. Not to say it's going to crash or anything, right? But they're betting on a lot of strong growth in the future. And while I think that Tesla still has a lot of potential, I do think obviously it's not going to have the same as it did last year in 2020. But still, the fact that a lot of big names are buying Tesla and putting their trust in Tesla, definitely, they know more about the market than I do. So, really great to see that. That was news number one. News number two is this Tesla and India, an interesting marriage. And this is a really interesting article if any of you guys want to read it. But essentially what they're talking about is the fact that, Tesla has started a potential move to open a Gigafactory in India. And we'll talk a little bit about that and why I think that, if this were to happen, this could be just absolutely phenomenal for Tesla, and it could be a game changer for Tesla as well. Now, what they're talking about is, hey, India's market is a little bit different because they're talking about two-wheelers are, 81% of total auto sales. So, your bikes and such. But what they're doing is they're looking to move forward with a slated 6th Gigafactory in Karnataka in southern India. They've registered the India Motors and Energy Limited subsidiary about a month ago. They're talking about opening a R&D center in Bengaluru, such as, Mercedes-Benz has one, GM has one, and Volvo has one as well. So what they're talking about is they want to expand in China, they want to expand in Asia, and this is potentially how they do it, right? So they're looking to overcome these obstacles, and this could provide them a little bit of a boost in the Chinese and Asian expansion. And then this article talks a little bit about, hey, why India, right? Why are they looking to, go to India? And the first things first, right? They're the fourth largest auto market in 2019, overstepping Germany, and they're looking to climb past Japan and take the third spot this year. They talk about, a lot of other EV investments that were made. So, other companies are going there as well. They see value. This could be Tesla's kind of way to solidify their position within India as well. Another reason is because Bengaluru is one of India's largest R&D hubs, right? I mentioned names like Mercedes-Benz, GM, Volvo, competitors of Tesla, right? Especially Mercedes-Benz and Volvo, and then GM as they get into the EV space. So if they can establish and take advantage of the tech hubs in Bengaluru, that could be great as well. And, they're talking about interest-free loans, they're talking about subsidiaries, all that good stuff. And, benefits to Tesla. What are the benefits to Tesla? Because ultimately that's what we care about, right? If you hold shares in Tesla, why do you like this? Capacity growth, expansion of energy storage, and further their competitive presence in China. You guys know that Tesla's trying to go hard in China right now, and this would give them, a little bit more of an ability to be able to really, really do that. The Gigafactory in China, they talk about numbers. I'm not going to go into a crazy amount of details because I could make a couple hours worth of video talking about everything that's talked about here. But they do talk about, the obstacles in India, and while, that growth in India is there, and while they are the fourth largest, auto seller, new car sales in the world, like I said, right, most of that is going to come from 2 and 3 wheelers. So maybe we see a 2 or 3 wheel, maybe we see a car like Solo, right, made by Tesla for India. But that's something that we will wait to see, right? So again, they haven't announced anything official or timeline or intentions. This is all kind of what people are anticipating based on the regulatory findings and based on everything that they've kind of work towards, right? Because that's what we do in today's day and age. We don't wait for the news. We buy before the news and sell at the news, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news. So they're talking about, hey, they haven't announced anything, but if they do, it could be phenomenal. It could be great for Tesla moving forward. The issue there is, the 2 and 3 wheel issue that we talked about. But, the other side of that is low labor cost, favorable export pathways to China, and cost reductions in a fiercely competitive market, right? So especially when you get to kind of the Asian worlds, right? You're not competing with some of the same names that you're competing with in the US and the Western part of the world, because now you've got local brands, right? In India, you've got local brands. In China, you've got brands that are, Chinese made brands. Like you're talking about, going head to head against NIO. If someone from China cares about, what is made in China, they may go for the NIO car, but the fact that Tesla is now producing the cars in China, again, labor costs go down, and you can say that car is made in the same country that it is being sold in. So saving export duties and kind of that thought process of, it is made in the same country as it's being sold. That's actually why a lot of even, if you take a look at Toyota, right, they did something in creating some of their pickup trucks in the US for this very reason. So they could say, made in US. So that's the second piece of news. The third piece of news here is Tesla is racking up $1 billion in profit, you guys, on their Bitcoin purchase. We talked about this last month. Or maybe even a few weeks ago, I don't recall, but they put $1.5 billion into Bitcoin, and the estimate kind of profit so far on that is already $1 billion So if you take a look at that, they are making more from Bitcoin already this year than they made in all of 2020 with the crazy number of cars that they sold. So that is crazy to think about. Of course, this is going to go up and down, right, as Bitcoin's price fluctuates. It's on a really nice bull run in the past couple of weeks right now. As that slows down, as we see a little bit of a correction, if we see that, that's going to take a hit on their balance sheet. But it's crazy to think that they've already made $1 billion, which is more than they made all of last year, and it's just February, right? It's just the second month of the 12-month calendar, so that's absolutely amazing. As we see Bitcoin grow, as we see the price increase, remember that it's a pretty decent part of Tesla's balance sheet now, so we can see that impacting Tesla as well. Now let's get back into the stock for those of you guys that want to know the future levels of support, future levels of resistance coming up with the company, and what that could mean for the stock moving forward, right? So here are the past kind of 4 days with Tesla. We're talking a little bit of a red day, not a little bit, a decent red day actually, taking us from kind of the low 800s into under 800, and then we've kind of struggled to break back into, the 800 level. Again, the 5-day chart kind of paints a similar picture. We broke below it on, let me get rid of the indicator here, and we can talk about it a little bit better. So you see here, we broke below it. We hit up against it, right, the same day, but we couldn't get above it. And then we sold off. We bounced here in the 760s, pushed up, and then kind of late on Friday in the pre-market, or not late on Friday, late in the week on Friday, pre-market, we tried to break into 800 again, didn't happen, and then we sold off. So let's take a look at future levels of support, future levels of resistance. We'll kind of see what we have coming up for Tesla. So as you can see, I think this upcoming week, we have some really, really important things to look for in the Tesla stock. You guys saw all that news, but that doesn't necessarily correlate too well with the stock unless we get a news that's saying, hey, Tesla is building this Gigafactory. That's news. But everything else we talked about, right, I don't necessarily see that really impacting Tesla. The $1 billion that, we're expecting they made, that could be something that pushes Tesla up, and that's something that we're going to have to wait and see for. So what are we, kind of at right now? Well, two things here. First things first is we've established a really strong support level here in the 770s, right? So the mid 770s. If you take a look here, the past 2 days, whether we had a green day or a red day, we've stayed above this kind of 775, 777 level. Even on a red day when we kind of, dropped all the way to 760s, we came above that. So that's the first thing we look for, is I think we've got a great support level here in the 770s. So if we were to dip again, hoping for that to hold up. If we don't, then 762 is my next level of support, and then 749 if the 762 doesn't hold. So that's what I'm looking at on the downside. The other thing that I want to focus on is the past 2 days, we've really struggled to hold that 34 EMA. You guys, as you can see here, we were, the couple of days before that, you could see we dipped below it, but came above it. On this huge red day, we bounced off of it. But then with the continued downward pressure, we broke below the 34 EMA. That's currently in the 793s. So hoping that, tomorrow or the day after, sometime this week really, we capture that 34 EMA, we get above it. That way we could use that as a nice level of support. Once we can get above the 793, hopefully a push towards 800. If we can push 800, we've got run room to 829 with the little stops kind of here in the high of 817 and 821 of previous days. So again, on the upside, what I'm watching is the break of this 34 EMA, get above that $793 mark, and then use that as a little bit of a support, maybe to bounce off of, push towards 800. If we break 800, I think 829 comes next, with a stop at maybe the 815s, 20s, based on the two previous highs. That's what I'm looking at going into the week. It does seem promising, although you take a look at kind of where we came from February 8th to now. We went from kind of trading in the high 800s to the high 700s, so we have seen a little bit of a drop. But what's comforting is that we've established a nice level of support, it looks like, on 775. So assuming we start to push up tomorrow, maybe we go down to bounce off of 775, or maybe we take off straight. But I think that, either way, 775 is a good level of support, and we really need to break above this 34 EMA and the 800 mark, establish that as kind of a point that we feel comfortable in, and then we continue shooting up. So that's what I'm hoping for, you guys. Let me know down in the comment section what your trade plan with Tesla is, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Again, crazy pieces of news for Tesla that could really drive the stock price up, in my opinion. So we'll see how that goes. That's all I had for you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.